So give me your impressions of how the first, it's probably 3 weeks or so now of practice, your impressions of how this team looks.
I think it's been going really well. Our first few weeks. Our team is looking good. This year, we're doing a lot more live segments than we have in the past, and without practice players, we're getting a lot more reps. I think, which is helping. We have a good intensity about us, more intense than in years past. We're competitive, and so I'm really excited. It's crazy. Our first game's already in 2 weeks, but it's looking good. I'm excited.
So I'm sure the live reps are because the season is shortened and you don't have much of a preseason to get ready for Pac-12. And I know Coach probably wants you ready for competition right away. So do you feel like you guys are competing? I know practices have been, competitive from what I've heard, but do you feel like that you guys are really competing and getting game ready?
Yeah, I think we are. We're doing a lot of live segments and working on our defense. But last year we did more drills, and this year we're doing it more in like a game setting, which I think is helping. We've obviously had less time to prepare, so I think that's probably why we're doing more of live segments, and also lack of practice players because of coronavirus. But I think it's helping. I'm excited for the year. 2 weeks will come fast, but I also think we're ready for a change. It just gets monotonous doing practices and practices without any games in sight, and so I think we kind of have a new energy about us this week because our games are so soon. So we're have a new urgency and stuff.
Yeah. Tell me your mindset, because last year, obviously, you guys were practicing for the WNIT and the season gets canceled. And then here you come into your senior year not even knowing if you'll get one. So do you sort of have that mindset of just making every day count and make the most of it?
Yeah, that's exactly my mindset. I'm really excited for this year, regardless of what happens if we get a fifth year or not. Like, it's my senior year. I've been here for a while. And so why not have such a good season, and why not play my heart out, because who knows what the future will hold. And so I'm really excited. And I think I have a different mentality about it, just more not taking every practice for granted, like there might not be another one. And so I don't know. I think my urgency is better this year. And so I'm really excited.
So coach has talked about this, about how your team has been really smart about avoiding situations where you guys can get the virus, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you guys have done a good job. How difficult has that been to go through daily testing and kind of deal with being an athlete during this time?
It's hard. It's so different because you can't do what we normally have done the past 3 years. And testing every day is in the morning, so you got to wake up early. Which I'm a morning person, but for everyone, it's just kind of hard. It's just adding to the new schedule, and it's just weird because you can't. I feel like you can't connect with everyone as well. Like, not on my team, but other teams, because you can't really see them because of coronavirus. And so, like, the connections with the other athletes, which is something that I really enjoyed about the athletic department here, we're kind of lacking this year because of the virus, which is unfortunate. But it's not. We're getting more in a routine right now, so it's not too bad. But definitely it has taken some adjustment, and it's just sad. It's like I feel bad for the freshmen because they don't know what it's like. I know what it has been in the years past, and it's obviously a lot better to be able to hang out with everybody. But it's okay. Our team hangs out a lot, so I think that helps.
What keeps you guys going? I mean, I know you guys like this team, but what kind of keeps you going and motivated to, stay in line and so you can have a good season?
I honestly think games, like, we don't want to have to sit out for games and postpone games. So I think that probably is keeping us going. Like, knowing the end goal. Like, if we want to be able to play all of our games this season, we cannot go to parties. We can't see other teams. We can't do that, and it's hard. But I think that is what the main thing is. The driving factor is just the want to play games.
So that like sort of goes against human nature, for all of us. But we've seen so many stories of college kids, non-athletes, that they are out partying, right? And I,
Right.
heard stories of it's happening in Boulder up on the hill. So, how hard is it to, not give in to some of that, for lack of a better term, peer pressure, and go out and just have some fun on a Friday night or something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. It takes some self discipline, but me and Aubrey hang out a lot, my roommate, and so like that helps. And our team is really close, so I think that helps us get like a social aspect of it, so we can hang out with our team since we're getting tested every day and we're with each other every day. So that helps, but it definitely takes a lot of discipline and just knowing you can't do it even if you want to.
Yeah, I see Corey pop in. I'm going to ask you one other thing, and then he can ask you stuff. But can you describe your role for me? Because your role has changed over the years. We've seen you be sort of a post player, an outside player. What kind of role do you have this year, especially as a senior?
I think I need to be a very solid player. I'm back to the forward spot this year, my favorite spot. I'm just more comfortable there. I enjoyed the wing a lot, but it's just my bread and butter is the four because I've done it my whole life. And so I'm back there. So I'm excited. Obviously, be solid as always. Rebounding, defend, and score when the opportunity is given to me.
Yeah, great. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it. I kind of missed the four just because I'm used to it. And so it's been great to be able to do that. And I get a little bit more wing reps with the offense that we're running. So I get to do actually a combination of both, which has been great.
Great. Awesome. Well, that's it for me, Corey.
Hey, Ani, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm curious, now that you're a senior, can you describe this team compared to other teams? And I guess that could be a really long answer, but it seems like since you've been here with Coach Jay and everybody else, that the team seems to reinvent itself like every year with the new players. Like you guys are changing the offense this year. Last year was a little different kind of up tempo. You moved to the wing. I mean, you've gone through 4 years of change constantly. Doesn't it feel like it?
Yeah, it feels like it. We definitely have kind of shifted since I got here until now. I think where we are now is a place that I want us to be and stay at. Obviously, we are going to strive to be more disciplined, more competitive, but this year more than the other years, I've noticed more competitiveness, more urgency. I think more, we haven't played games yet, but more of like a will to win in a way. And so like, obviously we had that in years past. It's just looked a little different. And we haven't gelled as well as we have this year. Like every year, I think that we had the best chemistry that we ever had. And so this year, I think the same, but I actually, looking back, this year is the best chemistry that we've had. I think it's just more a competitive nature that we have, and the new players, I think, have driven that. And our coaches, we started this thing called the Culture Club, so I think that's kind of helped in a way. But I like how we're looking this year, and I'm really excited.
You guys are going to have to get up to speed pretty quick before you get into your 22-game Pac-12 schedule. I mean, you only get 3 games. How can you help as an experienced player and really playing different positions to try to, I don't know, it's hard to describe what it's like once you get into the Pac-12, what that competition's like, right?
Yeah, I've been curious to see how it's going to go playing Pac-12 games so early on with everyone throughout the conference, because everyone has normally had 12 to 13 practice games per se before the conference. And now we have 2 to 3. And so I think the beginning of the Pac-12 season for everyone will be pretty ugly just because no one's practiced a ton. But I think a big thing for our team is having the veterans lead the young players. So understanding the intensity that you have to be at to practice at Pac-12. Like we're basically practicing right now. Like we're trying to mock it like we would during Pac-12 season, which normally we have 2 months to prepare for, but now we have to snap right into it. And so I think just try to train the young players to understand what that's like and what it feels like, since I've never really felt that before. A whole new level of intensity with plays, defense. We haven't done scouting yet. And so I think we'll get into that once games start. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens playing early on. I think it'll be fun for us because I've always wanted to play every team twice and we never have. And this year we get to. And so I'm excited for the challenge and it'll be really fun. I think our young players are ready for it. I just think that the veterans need to continue to guide them and put extra work in with them so then they'll be ready.
You also are going to be playing in front of empty gyms,
right?
Kind of like playing club ball. That's going to be like a different feel.
Yeah, it'll be weird. We were playing some halves the other week and I was like, well, this is how our games will be. And I think it'll just be different. We'll have to just figure out how to find energy from within and being loud from the bench, which we've done in the past, but we have to rely on it more, obviously, since that's all we have.
I noticed this particularly last year, playing on the road, you guys generated your own energy. And you're going to have to do the same this year, I think. It's going to kind of feel that, like, I don't know if that affects you guys that much because of the way you guys played on the road last year. You really fed into yourselves. Your energy kind of carried onto the court that way, even though there were a limited number of fans, right?
Yeah, I think it kind of helps that we are good at finding energy within ourselves and we all get along. So like we hype each other up, which helps. I was thinking about this the other day. It will be like every game we play is like when we play on the road or like even at Washington State because they don't get very many fans. So it's just kind of like that. And so we've already kind of had some practice with that. Obviously, it'll be different with no fans, but I think we'll be fine. It'll just be a different feel.
Definitely. Well, it's good to see you. I hope to see you guys in person at some point during the season. So.
I know. I hope so too. It's been weird not seeing people.
Thank you.
Okay. We good, Ani?
With us?
I don't know. And as a matter of fact, the radio, they're trying to figure it out now with everybody. Like the football guys, they can't travel with the football team. They have to call it from Boulder on TV. So
that's crazy.
I don't know.
It's crazy time.
It is. It is.
Thanks, Ani. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Nice seeing you.
Thanks, Ani.
Okay. Coach.